There we go. Hi guys, I'm Nate from Good Man Racing. That is Toothless right there staring at bugs outside. That is Saber sniffing paper, and I have been working on my house rather than my race truck. You guys will see more content from the 4Runner soon, but this is part 3 of my dehumidifier install. In general, I am done with the major scope of it, and this is a preview of what it actually takes to do a dehumidifier in your house. To give you a quick and dirty recap, a dehumidifier is a device that pulls moisture from the air and sends it down a drain. This is a lot like your air conditioning units, but in general, for a house in a humid place like Houston where I live, air conditioners are not enough to give you good dehumidified air that makes a home both comfortable to live in, comfortable to sleep in, and really prevent mold growth and stuff like that. HVAC professionals usually recommend a home stays within 40% and 60% humidity. Push comes to shove though, 40% to 50% is really a great place to make people both comfortable, healthy, and with less allergies, everything. It's a great idea. If you're pulling in air from the outside, like we have to in such a tightly sealed house as this, we're pulling in humidity from the outside air of Houston. So why not dehumidify it as well? That's what this Aprilaire unit does. This is the Aprilaire E100V, and then I want to say that this is the 8190FF. This can pull in air from the outside and dehumidify it. It can also take in air from the house and dehumidify it. There's a dedicated return and a dedicated air exchanger, and there's a mechanical switch that can change which one is getting into the house, or getting dehumidified, I should say. You see a Y here. The stuff that's going up and to the right is supplying the house. It's going to a dedicated register that's above my stairwell, and it provides a central location to dump as much dry air as possible. It's actually hot, dry air. So realize, like, it's not gonna be the same temperature as the rest of the house. When you physically walk under it, it's gonna feel toasty. It's gonna feel warm. The other part of this Y feeds this 12-inch line. This 12-inch line is part of my central HVAC system, but it's not supplying that air to an air conditioning unit. It's helping the supply be drier. And this is the supply that's going to the master bedroom, and I'm supplying it with dry air to mix and drop the humidity in that set of rooms: the master bedroom, the master bathroom, and the closet. The master bathroom is probably the most humid place in the entire house, just because we shower there regularly, we bathe regularly. You know, as a husband and wife team, we got 2 people living there, sleeping in the bedroom, and we are lucky if it is 60% in the bedroom while we're sleeping, and it's usually closer to 65. There are some other issues with our AC units that did not help the situation, but even after solving all that stuff, we had a dehumidifier in the bathroom just running constantly for the past 2 or 3 years. It wasn't enough. A whole house dehumidifier, that is enough. You can get so much more air and bang for your buck, because when this thing is running continuously, it has so much extra volume and space in here to do work and get that air dry, that it is doing laps around a little cheap device that you could buy for $300 or $500 off Amazon. How much does this cost? I did it myself. I skipped the middleman, I skipped the HVAC installer, and I spent about $5,300 in parts. This, the duct work, the tape, the sealant, the saws, the registers, the boxes, everything that you need to install an air conditioning unit Even the tools you use to test the static pressure of a system, I had to buy all that and do it myself. I had to test everything myself as well. I had to make sure that I wasn't messing up the regular AC system by installing this, and then from there I had to make sure that this wouldn't be compromised by the regular air conditioning system doing its thing. So you'll buy a lot of materials and you'll buy a lot of equipment just to do it yourself. I even spent like $50 on a special like zip tie cutter that would make it much easier and consistent to tie everything off. You have to think about stuff like that. You don't just tape something up and say it's good. No, because it has a static pressure, it's trying to leak. So you gotta seal it just so. You need the special tape. You need to not have a... You're gonna see my fingers starting to bleed, I think, because I just cut myself on some tape. But you get the idea. You have to have the hangers, the ductwork, the tools, the drains, the PVCs, the glue, the tools. And if you're gonna do a dehumidifier install yourself, you're probably gonna spend around $5,000. If you're including the ventilation thing. If you're skipping the ventilation thing, you can probably do all of it for around $3,000. But in general, it's not cheap. Expect a professional to quote between $7,000 and $10,000 for one dehumidifier install. And some places try to get two in there. You know, that's like full-blown HVAC price installs at that point. But is it worth it? Yes. It's 40% worth it. As in, we are getting the house into that 40 percentile humidity, and it is so comfortable to live in. We love it. It's like a different home. Everything we see in the house is from 40% to like 53%. It's so comfortable, and I recommend it. If you're not comfortable with HVAC, do not learn on this. If you are willing to learn, this is a great way to do it without compromising the rest of your air conditioning system. Quick recap: return supply. Do not mount it to your regular AC system. Do not supply the air to the back side of your AC unit, because that air conditioner is just going to rehumidify the air. If this is the return of my air conditioning unit and that is the supply, put the dehumidifier's hose, the ductwork, on the supply side or somewhere wherever your humidity is bad. That thing down there, that's the return. Again, this thing over here goes out to the outside world to exchange fresh air. This is the controller that physically switches the stuff to pull in outside air. This is the dehumidifier that does work. This is a Y that's splitting the air between two areas of the house. This is a Y that's allowing that air to be pushed into a supply side of one of my sets of bedrooms. I had to hook up an entire new duct for the register or supply that feeds the rest of the house. Had to do all that. It's about $5,000 worth of parts. If someone else is going to do it for you, expect them to add a time and a half to that. I've got a lot of other kinks and maintenance items to do on the regular air conditioning units. I kind of have trust issues with the original installers that did the stuff in this house. In general though, this home is much more comfortable to live in. I enjoy it greatly, and so does my wife. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you out in the desert, if not my garage. And the attic is way less comfortable than the inside. Catch you later.
Hey, buddy boy. You adventuring in there?